Welcome to another Sports Talk podcast by Marquette High School. I'm your host, Pranav Sriraman, and I'm joined by a very special guest today, Marquette Varsity Tennis player, Eddie Yue. Eddie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So, with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. So, Eddie, I wanted to know what drew you to the sport of tennis.
So I've been playing for like 7 or 8 years now. And I only really started getting serious like 6 years ago. And I think I first started because my sister. And when I first started, I didn't think I was going to really take it seriously. Yeah, but once it started, it just started picking up.
Yeah, and to elaborate on that, did you realize that you were extremely talented at that stage in time?
Not really. So when I first learned, I was just playing like once a week, and I was just taking lessons with some one dude. But like once I started going to clinics and started playing tournaments, that's when I knew like I had some potential.
So this season, according to Misha, you are undefeated in your matches. I wanted to know, what do you do to prepare for each and every match that makes you so successful before each match?
I think it's like there's a lot of mental preparation that goes on. So you really gotta eat well and then get a good night's of sleep, and then there's a lot of visualization of like what you want to do during the match, and especially uh, being like playing for a public school, um, playing some other public schools, there's not really a lot of pressure, and because it's a team environment, it's not as much pressure as playing individually. So it's definitely more fun.
So elaborate on the team aspect of it. How has having a team been more? How has that helped you be so successful compared to when you're playing individually or
Yeah,
recreation?
so when you play individually at tournaments, all the pressure's on you, and really, like, other than your parents or maybe a few friends, if you have friends at the tournament, cheering you on. But I mean, like at Marquette for high school matches, you got like 10 or 11 kids watching you play, especially if they finish before you, and they're all cheering you on. So it's just a lot more fun, and a lot of the pressure is kind of alleviated.
So in the preseason, what do you guys do to prepare going into the main season? Since I know you play hockey and that keeps you in shape as well, but what do you do specifically for
Yeah,
tennis to
so
prepare?
tennis is it's not really like a one season thing like I know a lot of other sports are. I kind of play tennis all year round. In the summer, um, I have the ability to go outside and play. And then in the winter when the weather's not as nice, I have indoor courts. So tennis is more of like an all year round sport. So I'm calling out preparing all year round.
And what are your goals for the remainder of the season?
So Marquette has a lot of potential. A lot of us are, I know of the top six kids that play varsity, five of us are sophomores and one of us are junior. So, so we got a lot of time, but I think even right now we have a lot of talent on our team, and I think especially with a lot of the other schools, I think we can definitely make a good run in state and maybe even win state this year.
And what has it meant to you to to represent your school and like play tennis and represent Marquette individually? What
Yeah,
has that
so
meant to
like
you?
I mentioned, usually tennis is an individual sport, and being able to represent a team, it just makes it a lot more special when you can pull out a win in a close match, which I guess I really haven't had yet, but I'm looking forward to those. But yeah, being able to pull out big wins is it just feels good.
So obviously, spring sports was canceled last season due to COVID-19. So this would be your first time playing tennis for Marquette. What's the difference between playing against like individual competition? Like, is competition harder? Is it harder to prepare given the school schedule? Can you elaborate on
Yeah,
that a little
so
bit?
when I play individual tournaments, a lot of time I'm traveling, and it's most of the time it's in the weekends, but I play a lot of tournaments in the summer as well. Usually have a like a good amount of time to rest before the weekend leading up to it. Whereas during school, the matches are like right after school, so yeah, it's definitely more difficult to prepare, but I can still work around things, and yeah, especially sleep is kind of difficult when I have homework, but there's definitely a lot of things I have to schedule better, and yeah, there's things I have to work around, but I've made it work so far.
Excellent. Well, Marquette students, if you haven't catched Eddie on the tennis court yet, you better should. He is absolutely killing it this season. Eddie, thank you for
Pleasure.
joining.